Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Here she goes. Great ass! And you got your head all the way up it. Say hello to my little friend.
Hoo-ah! Oh, yeah.
I'm the hand of Mona Lisa's skirt. I'm a surprise, Kevin. They don't see me coming.
Most important thing you need to know is that you don't know shit. What you see, what you hear. Nothing is what it seems.
Learn tactical, high-speed emergency driving. You will become
Bond, James Bond.
Thank you, Mr. Clayton. You're already role-playing. That's good.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of my Al Pacino Retrospective Review Series. This is Season 3, Episode 4. I'm of course your host, Jeff 11 Bronson, and today we're taking a look at the 2003 espionage, or spy thriller, The Recruit, starring Al Pacino and Collin Farrell, directed by Roger Donaldson. Among the cast is also Bridget Moynahan and Kenneth Mitchell, among others. Now, this probably would have been one of the earliest Al Pacino films that I would have ever seen. I mean, obviously you all know the story. Scarface is the one that I saw first. That's the one that made me a fan at 11 years old. After that, I know we had the DVD of 88 Minutes around the house, so probably that was the next one after I saw of Pacino's. And then maybe, I would have picked something like this up on DVD, or, even maybe I would have made my way to The Godfathers, maybe. I don't know, the timeline's a bit fuzzy. I know Scarface, I know 88 Minutes, and I know, maybe this was around the same time. Maybe I picked up a batch of Pacino films back then with my pocket money, my allowance that I had back in the day. But this is definitely one of the earliest ones I've seen. I've always had a bit of nostalgia for it, and I've always held it in pretty high regards. But does it still hold up for me as a solid thriller, or has it lost its touch over the years? Well, that's what we are going to be taking a look at today. So join me in reviewing The Recruit from 2003. Here we go. The plot of the movie goes as follows. In an era where the country's first line of defense, intelligence, is more important than ever, this story opens the CIA's infamous closed doors and gives an insider's view into the agency. How trainees are recruited, how they are prepared for the spy game, and what they learn to survive. James Clayton, played by Collin Farrell, might not have the attitude of a typical recruit, but he is definitely one of the smartest graduating seniors in the country. And he's just the person that Walter Burke, played by Al Pacino, wants in the agency. James regards the CIA's mission as an intriguing alternative to an ordinary life, but before he becomes an ops officer, James has to survive the agency's secret training ground, where green recruits are modeled into seasoned veterans. As Burke teaches him the ropes and the rules of the game, James quickly rises through the ranks and falls for Layla, played by Bridget Moynahan, one of his fellow recruits. But just when James starts to question his role and his cat-and-mouse relationship with his mentor, Burke taps him for a special assignment to root out a mole. As the suspense builds towards a gripping climax, it soon becomes clear that the CIA's old maxims are true. Trust no one. And nothing is what it seems, as Pacino says in the film. Al Pacino plays Walter Burke, the seasoned CIA man who recruits Collin Farrell's character, and what can I say? He once again does a brilliant job in this one as usual. What I will say, of course, is there is a twist to his character, which I won't give away here, but safe to say there is a few facets to his character which Pacino excels at portraying. Overall, another solid job from the legend. I also love his look in this one with the goatee, I must say, on a personal note, so top-notch stuff for Pacino as usual. Collin Farrell really does a standout job in this one as well. I must admit I'm not all too familiar with many of his roles, but from the limited amount that I have seen, he's always pretty much delivered, to be fair. Besides this one, I thought his performance in Phone Booth was excellent, and I really liked his take of Sonny Crockett in the Miami Vice movie from Michael Mann. I wasn't a big fan of that movie as a whole, but I did appreciate Farrell delivering a different spin on that character. Other than that though, he really did a good job in this one. I feel his natural Irish accent came through a bit at certain points, but I can't really fault him for that. All in all, a fine addition to this film, and he held his own against Pacino. Bridget Moynahan does a really good job in this one too. I also haven't seen her in all too many films, to be fair, but she definitely does great here.
Her character has some good vulnerable and emotional bits which she conveys very well, so overall, no complaints. Same can be said for the rest of the cast, and the film is also very competently directed by Roger Donaldson, of whom I've seen a fair few films that I've pretty much all liked, like Dante's Peak, The November Man, Species, No Way Out, and the 90s version of The Getaway. Excellent stuff. The film upon release garnered favourable reviews overall and was quite a success at the box office. On an estimated budget of about $46 million, it ended up making about $102 million worldwide. It holds a 44% critics rating on Rotten Tomatoes and a 58% fresh audience rating, and it has a 6.6 on IMDb. Myself personally though, I'll give it a solid 7 stars out of 10, as I feel it's a more than solid thriller, competently directed and with a solid cast and very good performances overall. Another winner in the Pacino filmography as far as I'm concerned. Definitely recommend it to people that haven't seen it yet, and that's that.
So there you guys have it. Like I said, that was my review for The Recruit 2003. Like I said, it still holds up for me. I still really like it as a spy thriller, CIA espionage thriller. Pacino does great. Colin Farrell does great. Bridget Moynahan does great. I think the cast is very good in this one. I think it's well directed, so I really don't have many complaints about the film. It is one that, like I said, one of the earliest ones I've seen, and one that I always held in good regard or high regard. So yeah, solid 7 out of 10 for me for this solid thriller. Next week though, oh boy, we got a film coming up next week. It's going to be a first time watch for me. This one, Pacino doesn't feature in it that long from what I've been told, so it might be a short review next week. But next week it's finally time for me to sit through. Ugh, the reflection doesn't even want to show it. I'm going to be sitting through Geely from 2003 as well, if I'm not mistaken, starring Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez, and I do know that also Christopher Walken pops up in this one, and of course Pacino is in it. Yes, I'm a Pacino purist, so this will be included, sadly, for the review series, so that's coming up next week. Before that, however, I do want to thank you all for watching this installment of the review series, and I want to thank my members, Crushes Movies and Games and Craig DeHoff. As you know, these Pacino reviews are available to members earlier than they are for, well, the rest of the public. So if you do want to see the Pacino reviews, you know, a week ahead or a few days ahead, do consider becoming a member. It will also help support the channel tremendously, and I would really appreciate it. With all that having been said, see you next week, where I'm probably going to be suffering for Geely from 2003. So see you guys then. As always, stay safe and healthy and keep punching. And we'll see you next week. Take care. Hooah! And so long for now.